What British scientists published today on English Channel 4 about decoding and finding Hitler's DNA, decoding his genome, just is there's so much to unpack in that because, as the scientists said, Hitler would have sent Hitler to the concentration camp, meaning the idea that he spoke about the importance of biological perfection and that he inflicted death on so many people for simply not being as healthy as others, while he himself was missing, I don't want to get into all the details, but he was missing some male body parts. And the idea that he would do that to others is so in line with what anti-Semitism is, because the same man who raged about the need for physical perfection was far from what he idealized. And it's interesting because in his last 2 days, when Hitler married Eva Braun in the bunker in 1945, he had to fill out a German marriage certificate. And the only two questions on a German Nazi marriage certificate were, number one, are you physically healthy? Which he was far from, not only because of his missing body parts, but because he was by then on extreme amounts of drugs, hardly functioning. And so he was not healthy. And then the other question is, are you Aryan? Which he also wasn't, because he didn't know who his father's father was. And yet he filled it out. And so this is exactly what the scientists said today. Hitler would have sent Hitler to the concentration camp because he was the opposite of what he idealized. And it embodies exactly what anti-Semitism is about. Anti-Semitism is about projecting the things that you feel insecure about, the skeletons you might have in the closet, problems you might have, onto others. That is anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is really the art of scapegoating, projecting, just putting your own problems and grievances onto the Jewish people. And that's what he did, obviously better than anyone else, unfortunately, to the tragedy of 50 million people who lost their lives in World War II because of him. So I think today's bombshell revelation about his DNA, his genetics, is just eye-opener in many ways. It explains a lot. At the same time, it's not surprising. That is what anti-Semitism is. It's about covering up. It's about projecting. It's about hiding, scapegoating. That is what anti-Semitism is about.